Yeah. This game. She deleted every filter from her phone. Tired of editing the face that was her own. Years of measuring herself against the screen had made perfection feel like something she should need. You were never made to live, chasing images that shift. Know the face behind your name. You were worthy all the same. Yeah. First photograph felt strange without disguise. Then she recognized herself behind the eyes. Freedom did not come from strangers pressing like. It came from finally accepting her own life. Keep your face on your story. You were never made to live, chasing images that shift. Know the face behind your name. You were worthy all the same. Let's go. Let's go. Yeah, the apprentice asks too many questions every day. Why this angle, why that tool, why I work this way? Some complain he slowed the workshop down. One old craftsman always kept him around. Never shame the need to know. Questions give the mind somewhere to grow. Those who ask what others miss often find what progress is. Years later, when the old machines would fail, he redesigned the parts that always broke their rails. The questions people once had called the waste became the reason work improved its pace. Ask again, stay curious. Never shame the need to know. Questions give the mind somewhere to grow. Those who ask what others miss often find what progress is. Yeah. Two umbrellas. Yeah. Two umbrellas at the crossing in the rain. One held by a banker, one by someone with no change. Traffic stopped them side by side beneath the gray. Different worlds sharing the same delay. Titles vanish in the rain. Human needs remain the same. Never let possessions hide the common ground we share inside. One umbrella broke before the lights turned green. The other moved across to cover both between. They crossed together, laughed, then went their separate ways. Equality appeared in ordinary space. Share the cover, see each other. vanish in the rain. Human needs remain the same. Never let possessions hide the common ground we share inside. The rate went up again to let it hit the floor. Same small flat, now somehow costing hundreds more. He worked all week but watched the numbers disagree, wondering when survival became luxury. Do not call the struggling weak when the numbers barely meet. Behind every closed front door, someone's calculating more. Yeah. Neighbors started sharing meals on Friday nights. Different generations facing similar fights, but the system made much harder to endure. Community made slightly less unsure. Share the way, know your neighbor. Do not call the struggling weak when the numbers barely meet. Behind every closed front door, someone's calculating more. No, nobody on the pavement outside number 4. Still somebody swept beyond their own front door. The next week another neighbor did the same. Soon the whole street somehow started to change. Do not wait for someone else. Start the change around yourself. Oh, yeah. One example quietly shown can become a culture grown. Flowers appear beside the broken wall. Children painted pictures for them all. Nothing formal, nobody took the lead. Community began with one small deed. Start nearby, others follow. Do not wait for someone else. Start the change around yourself. One example quietly shown can become a culture grown. The algorithm never knew a favorite song, or why certain rainy afternoons felt long. It knew the things she clicked and what she chose to buy, but never knew the questions keeping her awake at night. You are more than data points, more than patterns, more than choice. Keep the place machines cannot, for the human things you've got. She closed the feed and called an old friend instead. Talked about the thought she carried in her head. No recommendation, could've known what to say. Human understanding won the screen that day. Stay human, think deeper. You are more than data points, more than patterns, more than choice. Keep a place machines cannot, for the human things you've got. cleaner found a wedding ring beneath the chair. Nobody else had even noticed it was there. She could have slipped it quietly inside her coat. Instead, she left a number with a handwritten note. Who you are when none can see. Writes the truth of integrity. Character is not a claim. It is choices without fame. A frightened husband hurried back at 8:30. 20 years of marriage hanging on his weight. He offered cash, she smiled and shook her head. Just do the same for someone else, she said. Choose what's right without witnesses. Who you are when none can see. Who you are writes the truth of integrity. Character is not a claim. It is choices without fame. Yeah. Yeah, The photograph had no likes, it lived inside a frame. 3 generations smiling without chasing fame. Nobody staged the laughter, nobody checked the light. They simply caught a memory on an ordinary night. Not everything must be displayed. Some things grow when privately made. Keep some moments for your soul. Not the eyes of those you do not know. Years later, that old picture meant much more. After some of those familiar faces were no more. No comments underneath, no numbers by the side. Still it held a world that metrics could not buy. Keep some moments just for you. Not everything must be displayed. Some things grow when privately made. Keep some moments for your soul. Not the eyes of those you do not know. Yeah. Yeah. Da 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 dum dum dum. Yeah. Da 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 dum dum dum. Yeah. The house with no spare room somehow made a space. Another folding mattress found its place. A cousin needed somewhere safe to stay. They moved the dining table out the way. Generosity is not excess. Sometimes giving leaves you less. Still the heart can multiply what the numbers would deny. Yeah. 3 months later, he was working once again. Found a little flat and handed back the key at 10. Years would pass before that kindness came around. Then another troubled relative needed ground. Make some room, pass it forward. Generosity is not excess. Sometimes giving leaves you less. Still the heart can multiply, what the numbers would deny. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yo, gang. Yeah. The man who fixed old radios worked out back. Tiny screws arranged beside a coffee flask. People said those broken things had their day. He smiled and found what others threw away. Do not discard what still has worth. Everything deserves some work. What looks finished to your eyes might need patience to revive. 107 began to sing at 4:30. Music filled the workshop like the years before. An elderly man heard his favorite tune, and suddenly his childhood filled the room. Look again, see the value. Do not discard what still has worth. Everything deserves some work. What looks finished to your eyes might need patience to revive. Yeah. 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 He changed his mind at 40, left the trade. Everyone reminded him how much he'd already made. But 20 years of comfort could not hide the quiet dream he kept somewhere inside. You can change direction still. Age does not erase your will. Starting over is not shame. Starting over is not shame. Sometimes growth requires a change. Night school after work became a second shift. Failure taught him more than easy seasons did. 3 years later, qualification in his hand, he finally understood his own revised plan. Start again. Age means nothing. You can change direction still. Age does not erase your will. Starting over is not shame. Starting over is not shame. Sometimes growth requires a change. The clock never apologized for moving on. Birthdays came and childhood rooms were gone. He kept saying one day he would make the call. Till one day there was nobody there at all. Do not borrow from today for a future far away. Say the words and make the time. While the people still on mine. usually free. Lunch with family underneath the apple tree. Experience a talk with calendars concealed. Time becomes expensive when the loss is real. Call today, do not delay. Do not borrow from today. Do not borrow from today. For a future far away. For a future far away. Say the words and make the time. While the people still are mine. The barber never raised his prices for the old. Said some things matter more than earning gold. Mr. Harris came each Tuesday just to talk. Sometimes stayed an hour before his homework walk. Business counts the money made. Character counts how you behave. Profit keeps the doors alive. People give, the work is life. When the barber fell behind one difficult year, those same customers refused to disappear. They filled the chairs and brought their families through. What he gave for years came quietly back too. Serve with heart. People remember. Business counts the money made. Character counts how you behave. Profit keeps the doors alive. People give, the work is life. With the empty chair at graduation held his gaze. Mom had worked 2 jobs throughout his college days. She passed away before she saw him cross the stage. Still her sacrifices lived on every page. Some who helped you reach the height may not stand beneath the lights. Carry forward what they gave. Let your living speak their name. He touched a photograph inside his graduation gown. Took a second, breathed, and slowly settled down. When they called his name, he walked with quiet pride, knowing every step still carried her beside. Carry love, make them proud. Some who helped you reach the height may not stand beneath the lights. Carry forward what they gave. Let your living speak their name.